All right, we'll just settle in. Just make yourself comfortable, and nothing matters. Everything's left at the door now. Everything's left at the door. You can pick up all those issues later. They'll still be there. Or maybe they'll be different. This is just our timeout. We're just observing everything as it is. Nothing has to be changed by you at the moment. We're just observing it as it is. And natural change will happen anyway. You can give the doer a rest now. And just as something different to settle the mind a little. Just observe the senses. So just the one that's going to be most predominant is maybe the pressure sitting on the chair. So the sense, the feeling sense. And we'll do a lot more of that while we do the body scan, but there are sounds just appearing, changing, instantaneous. And none of them mean anything except if the mind latches onto them in thought. So just every time the mind contracts, just notice that, and you can let go of that. And that's everything that's going to happen today. Just notice the mind and thoughts that are really just spontaneous passing clouds. And just let them be instantaneous. Nothing more. So everything that happens, we're just watching with like a childlike curiosity. It's like it's fresh, the first time you've ever experienced it. The sounds just pop up, instantaneously express and change. Now we had a pop, just to give an example. It's already changed, it's already gone. And everything is like that, except when the mind engages and holds on to it. So that can be a little background awareness. You can actually use that when you're going about your day. If you stop for 5 minutes and just stay still for a minute, you can actually just slow down and savor all sensations. You might walk extremely slowly and feel the feet on the floor, the sounds that are in the room, the brushing of your clothes against the skin, and all that can be appreciated in stillness. There's a guy called Thich Nhat Hanh who was a Buddhist monk, well known, and he used to do slow meditation walking in their thing where they used to just walk at a third speed, which looks ridiculous for our modern Western society. But actually, if you try it, probably not while you're crossing the road, but if you try it, it's very, very relaxing. It stills the mind because all the sensations are fully experienced, and that's going on all the time, but we just crowd it also with noise of thinking and doing. Just bear that in mind in your daily life. And we'll just settle into breathing, watching the breath coming in and out of the nose, the natural breath. And we're just observing whatever sensations might be around the nose and the top lip. Kind of the triangle of the nose and the top lip. If other thoughts come or the mind's busy, it's okay. That's just what's happening at the moment. You don't have to change anything. You just keep guiding the mind gently back to observing the subtle sensations, all gross, but we're looking for all sensations around the nose and the top lip as the air travels over the skin. Just the natural breath. You don't have to change the breath in any way. You don't have to force it to be better breath, longer, deeper. We're not changing anything, we're just observing the natural breath. The intelligence of life will sort itself out. Is the breath slow? Is the breath shallow? What does it feel like as the in-breath goes in? Does it feel different, warmer, more moist as the air travels back out the nostrils? Whatever's happening today, we're just observing as it is, accepting as it is. And if resistance comes up or contraction, that's just what's happening. We're just noticing it and letting it express. Not holding anything back. If you need to cough, you cough. Just everything you do, if you have to change your posture, just do it slowly so you can observe that as well. There's no wrong in this. It just is as it is. If things arrive that feel less than ideal, like if you feel uncomfortable because you had to cough, or you feel any resistance at all we're doing is looking at that and going, oh, okay. That's also happening like that. It's just always underpinned with a theme of kindness. If that theme of kindness is naturally cultivated, it just flows to others as well. And we're still on the breath, just travelling in and out of the nose, the natural breath. And just notice everything else. Notice if any thoughts are coming. Just looking with curiosity, observing with curiosity. And we're not resisting, and we're not wishing it was different. We're just observing it as it is. Thoughts may come, they're just clouds appearing, changing shape, expressing, and dissolving and changing. If you can observe your thoughts, then they're not you. But thoughts are so close in our mind that we kind of get them mixed up as who we are. And we're just allowing that to be seen. Spontaneous thoughts arrive and change. And they're all okay as they are. If you notice parts of the body that are contracted or have gross sensations of pain or pleasure, just notice it. There's no need to do anything with it. Probably comes up as you start to still the mind a little. And it's all just okay. And we're just going to scan down the body as we usually do. So take the attention to the crown of the head. And the first part on the breath is just to allow the awareness to focus on a particular area and feel, observe what's already happening. And we're just feeling the crown of the head. What does it feel like there? Are there any sensations at all? There might be that feeling of ants crawling as the nerves activate or are seen. Might be fullness, the rhythm of the pulsation of blood. Might feel beautiful, or it might feel like a headache. We're not trying to change anything, we're just observing it as it is. There's always the temptation to fix or do something, and we're just allowing that to relax. It's very counterintuitive, but we're teaching the body a new habit, and that's just not to be so reactive to everything that we don't understand or control. And just take the attention down the back of the head. Just part by part, try to feel all parts of the scalp if you're on the surface. We're generally just travelling down the surface of the body, but as you progress with this, you'll probably find deeper sensations. That's okay, you can notice that too. It'll happen naturally. But just to keep things simple, you can just feel the surface of the skin and the scalp and see what it feels like. See what it feels like there. Back up to the crown and then down the left side of the head. If you can imagine scanning, like one of those laser scanners perhaps, that highlight an edge as it travels down. Or if you're a bit more organic, you can just feel sections and feel what they feel like. The temple, the cheek, the ear, the jaw down to the top of the neck. It doesn't have to be any particular way. We're just observing it as it is. Letting go of any habits to try and change things. Change will happen naturally. And then back up to the crown and scan down the right side of the head. Part by part down to the top of the neck. Just allowing things to be as they are. And noticing. Then just take the attention to the forehead. How does the forehead feel? And how does it feel deeper into the head from the forehead? You don't have to know anything. And just observe the left eyebrow and the left eye socket. And then the right eyebrow and eye socket. And then just be aware of that triangle of the nose and top lip again. And you might notice that there's a bit more awareness of sensation now as the mind is settled. How does it feel now? Can you feel the air travelling in and out of the nose? Or just general sensations? Notice the left and right jaw and cheek. And then just feel the lips, the inside of the mouth, the tongue, the throat. You even might feel sensations in the teeth. And if the noises appear, just they appear and disappear instantaneously. Without any stories attached to the sounds, they're just instantaneous and gone, changing. And just travel from the left ear down the side of the neck to the left shoulder, underarm, and top of the arm, in your own time, top of the arm, elbow, forearm, palms and fingers. And just try to notice each part. If you find areas that are blank, you can rest there for a couple of minutes just to see what happens. There is always sensation going on. And sometimes there's contractions in certain areas that make it blank. The mind doesn't want to see it. Just retraining that awareness. And if after a couple of minutes there's no sensation, just continue on looking at each part. And that in itself dissolves the resistance, dissolves the wanting for it to be different. It's just complete acceptance as it is. And this continues in the background anyway. As you continue scanning the body, this part will be looked at anyway in the background. And then in your own time, the right side, starting at the right ear and down the side of the neck to the shoulder. And just have open curiosity to all sensations. You might notice from time to time, oh, that's interesting, I never noticed that. It doesn't really matter. Just looking at any sensations and allowing everything to be as it is. The approach would be, if you notice something you would normally want to change, we're just accepting it as it is, and even saying it can stay that way forever if it wants to. Inevitably, change happens anyway. And then just take the attention to the front of the neck, underneath the chin, all the way down the front of the neck, the sides of the neck. Just notice sensation, any subtle sensation or gross. And we're just disarming contraction or reaction, allowing it to be. Noticing and appreciating sensation. And just travelling down the chest, the top of the chest area. And the left side of the chest, all parts. Allow detail to be seen. And then just settling into the heart area. And really allow that to be seen and open to. Are there any sensations in the depth of the heart? You can allow your attention to sort of open a bit deeper now. And especially around the heart area, it's like a kind, loving awareness. And you feel the subtle rhythm of the heart. You might want to draw to mind someone dear to you, some loved one, and just warmly feel love towards them. Feel that love around the heart area. And just really let that expand. Let it glow. Gently lean in and let it expand. And then let that warm feeling just stay. Nothing has to change. Just let it be. And continue on with the rest of the body. If there's any other parts of the body that are painful or contracted or problematic, you can almost imagine sharing that glow with those areas, that loving presence. But generally, we're not trying to necessarily do anything with any of this. Just observing as it is. And just feel the whole stomach area. You might feel a bit deeper into the organs. All the parts down to the base. And just scan down the left and the right side of the torso in your own time, from under the arm down to the top of the hip. Just notice any sensations. How does it feel? If it's just allowed to be as it is. Even allowed is too strong a word. It just is as it is. And then just take the attention up to the top of the neck at the back. Scan down all parts of the spine and the top of the shoulders, shoulder blades, upper and lower back in your own time. And just enjoy it. It's like a warm bath of attention awareness. Always bearing in mind it doesn't need to relax. You don't need to change anything. It tends to change, but it's not you that's doing it. It's just like surrender to what is already like that. And as we allow ourselves to observe these sensations, it's quite common for this to sort of have pathways through the body. You might observe other sensations on the other side of the body or deep in the body that seem to be connected and seem to have some sort of pathway. It's very natural and normal, and those other areas can just be seen, but we then just relax and bring the attention back to the area we're scanning and just allow it all to be. You don't have to not feel anything, but we're just gently guiding the attention back to the areas we're scanning. It's just so you don't get distracted and start going into mind again. It is as it is, it's okay. There can be an open noticing of all sensations and a general focusing of attention on certain areas. And as they don't pull on each other, they can be relaxed into each other. And then just bring the attention to the top of the hip, the left hip. Feel the inside of the thigh and around all parts. The outside, the buttocks. Feel the whole of the hip area. just as it is. What does it feel like? Any sensation? And just travelling down the left leg. Gently look at all parts, the front of the top of the leg, the back, the hamstring, the inside, the outside, the knee joint, and all the parts down to the toes on the left leg. And then the right hip all the way down to the right toes. In your own time, in your own curiosity, with your own open observation, just scan all parts. This is just like awareness in harmony with what the body's already doing, the life of the body. Not trying to change anything. And when you scan the right leg, just allow the attention to sweep up the body from the feet to the crown of the head over maybe 10 or 15 seconds. And just get an intuitive impression of the body. It doesn't have to be accurate, you're just scanning the body like what you've just done. It's almost just a sweeping, open awareness of the body. And then back down to the toes. No accuracy required, doesn't have to be right. It's just an intuitive impression of the sensations of the body. And then resting with that open appreciation or observation of the body. Just be aware of the whole body. Is there awareness of the whole body? And if there's awareness of the body, notice the awareness of the sounds in the room. And just be aware of the whole room. Including the other people in the room. Just rest in that open awareness. And the birds chirping. We've created a distance in our minds, but actually these sounds are just right here. The sounds are just also appearing in awareness. Just rest like that, being aware. And you don't have to understand it or know it. It's just presence. You can just move around the attention. You can sort of feel the sensations of the body again. You might notice the breath coming in and out of the nose as we started. And just notice the difference from when you started. There's no real reason to do this apart from encouraging whatever mind games go on in the future to not meditate. If you just remember this difference, sometimes it can be the little motivation needed to just sit down for a while and be still. And just as a reminder, while we do these meditations, we're not trying to sleep or fall below attention or awareness. We're trying to remain alert, almost like with clear seeing. Alert, not to avoid anything, but just to sort of experience everything as it is. You can sleep at night or in the afternoon or whenever you need to sleep, but this isn't sleep. And when you feel like it, you can just open the eyes, but don't do anything too quickly. Just gently open the eyes and stay there. Notice all your movements. As a little game, when you do that, just see see how it feels when you do it at half speed. If you reach down, you actually notice all the sensations of the movement. You notice the feeling as you pick up the top of the texture of the plastic. You notice the sound and the sensation as it unscrews. You notice the movement. You notice the touch on the lips. You notice the cool water in the mouth. If you notice all of those things, it just brings you into the present moment. And the mind can't do anything else. It can't do two things at once, really. So even that, if you were just stressed one day and you just slowed everything down to half pace, and it'll feel so ridiculous for the thinking mind. But if you do that, it stills the mind and it brings you right back into the present moment. And that's really all there ever is.